Hello, my name is Abiel Ballesteros, and a lot of people come to me to ask me about multifamily investment opportunities, and they share their fears and their worries about the industry. To be perfectly honest, there are some real concerns, but also there's a lot of misconceptions about becoming a multifamily investor or a passive income investor into multifamilies. If you want to become a passive investor, today I'm going to address the most common misconceptions and provide some clarification. The first is the most common concern that I hear has to be with management. Some people say that managing a multifamily property must be intense, sometimes consuming, expensive, dealing with so many tenants. It's like a complaint department all day. Trust me, I've been around this environment, and tenants typically do not call you just to tell you what a great landlord you are. If they're calling you, it's either to tell you about a complaint or a repair that they have. While all that may be true, the reality is that we structure most of our deals with a property management company in place to bring value to our investors while reducing the need of involvement. Having our own management company means that the concerns about management of your investment and your property are out the way. It also means that we have a full control over that aspect and the management of the property, ensuring that investors' interests are well protected. Now, this management doesn't necessarily come directly from us. We have partnered with management companies in different markets where we present and acquire some of our local knowledge about the specific markets. Operating costs, labor costs, materials, and other expenses vary from city to city and state to state. So, making a relationship or having a property management company locally in other cities and other states is a huge benefit to us. So let's say you're an investor and you're interested in managing a multifamily property. Managing a multifamily property is so much easier than managing a bunch of single-family homes scattered throughout the city. Trust me, I've gone through this before in my career. So having a good operator is really important because an operator and a property manager are two different things. But the most important thing is having a good operator that identifies who's going to be a good manager for that asset. And by them doing that, they're going to work in collaboration together. I have a whole blog about this, and I created a whole ebook about this. I'll leave the link below for that. Another factor of concern for people is the cost. And some people think it is extremely expensive to buy a multifamily properties. Well, to properly address this, you need to understand several factors. For example, the size of your property, the class of your property, and its location. A large property would be, of course, much more expensive than a smaller one, but that's not it. You also need to consider clarifications of your multifamily. Are you going to go after a Class A or a Class B or a Class C? I have a whole topic about that. Also, if you're located in what city? Is it high unemployment? Is it a population that's actually diminishing? Housing won't be very expensive because of the low demand, regardless of the classification. So the cost of a multifamily property is relative to a lot of factors. The key here is to be able to identify a property that has the potential to appreciate over time, thus giving back a lot of value to investors. Spotting a good deal or a trending market is key to the success of a multifamily. Regardless of the cost, financing a multifamily tends to be a little easier than other assets in commercial real estate and single family due to the risk factors. Banks generally perceive multifamily properties as a less riskier investment because they're more profitable and they're more stable than warehouses and other commercial properties. In the past couple of years, lots of retail and malls have been closing down. And that's only part of a trend that we're seeing because people are changing the way they do business. They're buying online. Now, I'll tell you what though, people are still going to need a roof over their head. That's why multifamily is going to stay on a great path of growth. Our advice is to work with experienced lenders that specialize specifically in multifamilies. I see a lot of investors make the mistake of working with a lender that does it all. Residential, retail, commercial. When you work with a specific lender that specializes in multifamily, you're going to see how different your experience is going to be. Another reason for concerns about multifamily is competition. Multifamily property tends to draw a lot of interest from experienced investors, and this could create an intense competition over a deal. And then we're seeing that type of trend in the last couple of years. This is true, and it's a real concern. Most of the experienced investors are often able to access financing, source cash, and grab great deals. They have deep knowledge of the markets and regulations governing multifamily and have great relations where they can get access to these type of properties. But don't let this discourage you from joining a multifamily industry. Our approach is simple. First time or for novice, investors are often best served by partnering up with an experienced investor and operator. This is exactly what we do at SCR Apartment Capital. Throughout the years, our relationships have been able to source us deals, identify properties, process loan applications, manage properties. So always keep in mind that the best interest of our investors is to find the best deal for us. We don't like to go after a good deal. We want to go after great deals. If you're interested in these topics, or if you would like to become a multifamily investor, please go to abielballesteros.com and schedule an appointment with me to discuss how we can be part of this industry. Now, you can send me an email at abiel@abielb.com. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, where I show insights of the industry and the news and trends and much more. Thanks, and I'll see you next time.